We'll go live soon. Hey, welcome to the Duranified Show. I'm here with Bryan Singleton. We're both going to be co-hosting the show, and we're going to have a special guest tonight. We got DeMarco from FS Grad 03. If you guys don't know DeMarco, you're going to get a big treat tonight. So, Bryan, how are you?
I'm absolutely fantastic.
That's awesome. Now, the weather's not fantastic. I'm sorry, I got a bunch of echo here. No, it's not me. So
No, I was turning down the volume on the other page.
on the other page.
I
Okay.
Mine echoed for a second until I could hit the volume button.
Well, we're clean. We're clean, man. The weather's going to be. It was fabulous today and yesterday. How was Pittsburgh?
It's pouring.
Pouring.
It's pouring, and it's 40-mile-an-hour winds. So
And
that's
so
perfect Pittsburgh weather.
the front came through. Bummer.
Yeah, right. But
Okay.
at least it warmed up a little bit, so that was a plus.
Yeah. So without any further ado, let's bring DeMarco's in here. Let's talk to DeMarco. Hey, hey, hey.
Hey,
What's up, man?
Yay.
Good
hey
to have
guys,
you on the show, man. How you doing?
good to be here. Good to be here. Happy Thursday. It's about 90 degrees here in Arkansas. No, I'm kidding. It's 27 today.
Hey, how was that weather? Did you get the really bad wind come through?
Yes. We actually got the wind yesterday. So all day yesterday it was windy.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
and I take it back. A lot of rain last night. My neighbor's out of town, so he texted me to actually dump his pool. So I had to turn his pool pump on so it wouldn't overflow. But yeah. We got rain and a lot of wind. What about you guys?
That came through today. The wind came through and not the rain yet, but we're expecting rain. Uh, but we had 35, 38 mile an hour gusts today. I wanted to fly and I checked with
Real
the
lightning.
UAV flight app and
Hmm.
it said it's not very good to fly.
Well, unless you want to lose something. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that the truth, right? And Bryan and I both had experience of losing a drone to the water.
Mhm.
I saw
Scott,
that. I've seen it.
Indeed. Hee-haw.
yeehaw.
I love it.
So, what have you boys been getting into? What have you guys been doing? Spending any time outside? Riding your e-bike, Bryan? Marco, maybe you racing your big old truck you got for Christmas, or what's been going on?
Go ahead, Brian.
Okay, well, I've been messing around with that piece of crap Hubson Zeno Mini, and I ordered me some cables, so they came today. So we'll see. I mean,
Hey.
when I've been making the videos, I've been telling the people, I said, just because I'm not swapping cables while I'm making the video doesn't mean I'm not trying different cables. I'm trying different cables, but they're not working. So I went and bought some Amazon cables, and they're probably the same crap. I had DJI cables on there. I had the FEMI cables on there, and it all did the same thing.
Nothing?
It still did the disconnects. So who knows, right? We'll see. I bought some new ones, and we'll see what happens.
So Jenna's in the house. So we got a lot of people in the house today. We got Matt Magwell in the house. Thanks, Johnny, you're in here, and Jenna C. And Captain Ray is usually in here somewhere. Of course, we have DeMarco in the house. Maddie from Maddie's Drone World is in the house. And, oh, Angeline's in the house, Lost Girl Adventures. Hey, Angie, how are you? And so, welcome to the show, guys. So, let's see this big old truck of yours,
Yeah, let's
DeMarco.
see it.
Let's see that big old truck, man.
Where is it? Actually, this one's the car. So
Oh, yes.
this is a 1/7 scale arm of felony, In fact, I just got a new body for it though. So the body that I'm showing you is the stock body though, but it came in two different styles. When I got the black, but I ordered the orange too.
We're gonna have to full screen this thing,
Oh,
Brian. Oh
Oh,
my gosh! Look at
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Woo! That's
So,
nice.
wow.
so the wing is new. Oh,
Right.
I put the wing on, and then if I could set it down here.
Wow, we're
Right.
getting a real
So,
treat here, man. This is
and then this one is a 6S, so there's two
Yeah.
cables here.
Right. Now there's two cables that you plug into one battery, or is it dual battery?
Dual batteries, or you can do
One on each side there of
if you
that.
had one, like you would just use a connector. That's
Right.
that's it though. But just the one though. So
Okay.
this is it. This is my new GPS speed monitor. I just bought though, but it's pretty quick.
It looks nice, man.
Yeah, I mean it's
it
heavy.
looks like
Right.
it looks like it could definitely beat my BMW for a quarter mile.
Is that the roller right there on the other thing?
Oh man, look at the dual exhaust on that thing. It's
Yeah.
like I'll always love that look because they look
Yeah.
like rocket nozzles. You
So-
Hey,
know?
DeMarco, does it have the sound effects on it and everything?
No,
No.
it doesn't.
It don't have that. Okay.
It doesn't though, but it's pretty. It is. So here where we live at, like we actually live here in a cul-de-sac. So when I first bought it, I was racing in the cul-de-sac, and kids were all out there. Wow! What could I try? I'm like, no, you can't try. And I hit a couple of curves though, because it gets going so fast. Like you actually need about 75 feet to brake to stop though. So lately, I've been going up to the high school parking lot. It's a lot bigger. So I've been hoping to do some videos with my FPV following that, but I don't know someone who could
Drive your car.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll volunteer. I'll go.
Drive the car. So I mean, so my brother's coming into town in a couple of months, so he's gonna drive the car, then I'll fly though. So I trust him. We actually started with, I don't know if you guys noticed, you were around during the 80s though, but I started with a Tamiya Grasshopper and a Hornet, and then a RC10, so a team associated RC10. I started with though. Those were the big cars back in the 80s, like 86, 87. And now like you can buy the kits, you can buy vintage kits, and build them now though. But like now they all come ready to run now. So
That's fantastic.
but
Now,
I love my drones still too, I like both. I like sausage and pepperoni pizza. So
yeah, the meat lover special, right? Well, have you done this? You're hammering it, and you just cut the throttle, cut the wheel real hard, and then whomp on and pull the wheelie, but don't flip it. Have you done that one?
Well,
If you master that one,
this one won't pop a wheelie how it is now. So it
Oh,
comes
okay.
with two pinion gears on it, and the one that's stock runs probably 70 miles an hour out of the box, and then the one that comes in the box and you got to put on it, that's over 80. It goes so like that one won't do a wheelie, but like I've got trucks that will. But the problem there is like you can risk stripping out the pinion, So I mean,
yeah. So remember when you were at Spin Up, and you actually had a very adventurous
yeah.
driving or racing at. That was the other one, right?
Yeah, that was an Arma Typhon, so that was a 3S. So like out of the box, that one's about 50 miles an hour. It's still fast enough on dirt anyway.
It was fast enough to keep up with you. I know that I was
thought it was pretty
following
fun.
you. Yeah,
That was pretty fun. In fact, they make a 6S version of that. So mine's a 1/8 scale, that Typhon, and then they make a 1/7 scale 6S though. My buddy from Chicago has that one. So like we were racing, and the way it is between 3S and 6S is we're just about even, but on a long straightaway, he can pull away from me because like he's got more power to it. So,
Hey, DeMarco, you might have to bust down and get you a Skydio or something.
yeah. You could glue that beacon right to the top.
My wife's gonna hear that.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I have thought about that a lot, but what keeps me from doing it is that's all I would use it for. You know, I'm not gonna take.
That's all you would use it for.
Yeah, that's all I would use it for. It's just following the.
It does work. I mean, that following on that thing works really, really well.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
you have one, Bryan, or?
I have one. I followed myself on that scooter. You know, I rode that scooter around in that office building complex. Mm-hmm. And what it really impressed me is it followed me right in between the buildings.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wow, I was really surprised that it did that. I thought maybe it would go around or over the building. No, it went right in between the buildings.
Yeah. Well, here, I'll tell you this. When I, the weekend I got this car, there's a school not too far from me, So like it's a big roundabout, a big circle in the school though. So I was in one spot doing and I was trying to follow the car with my Air 2 where it's too small. I mean, it wouldn't keep up. But like what actually happened, I was probably 60 feet away from this turn and I'm looking at it and I couldn't judge depth, from that far away. So I'm trying to drive, turn, and ran right into the curb with this, cracked the body.
Oh.
But yeah. I mean, it happens. That's it though. So.
Well, you could buy the whole plate that cracked, right?
Yeah. Well, this body here, I just bought it in orange, and it was like $130. I mean, so like they're not cheap.
Right.
No.
A non-painted body is about $100.
Well, remember when you ran into Brad or Brad ran into you or you both ran into each other?
Yeah.
Well, that whole little car cost $130, $140, including
Did his car break? I don't.
Yeah. And I think one of the ball joints popped out and cracked right in half or something because they're, they don't have the metal ball joints. They have the plastic ones, I think.
Yeah.
So it's some kind of polymer anyway. It broke.
Yeah. Well, here with those, Brad's car is pretty good, but like with those cheaper cars, like I mean, $130 isn't cheap though, but like in the car game, it is. It's hard to find parts for those, and normally there is not parts for those. There are not parts for them.
Right.
Yeah, you almost have to have a 3D printer to put it back together.
Yeah.
Well, they're kind of made for if you tear them up, throw them away, and get a new one.
Exactly.
Kind of like drones.
Yeah.
I've got my money's worth out. I paid $130 for mine, and I jam on it all the time. I have a blast with it. Really.
Yeah. There's a guy on YouTube by the name of Kevin Talbot. So if you guys listen and chat, he makes great videos. He's out of England, the UK.
I've heard of him.
And Talbot, I think it is though. But like he's always busting up cars. But he's buying the cars that you can fix too. And he's really talented. I mean, man, he just built this. There's a 1/5 scale monster truck, and it is gigantic. I mean, like when he picks it up, I think it's 80 pounds. Like when he picks it up, and he actually converted it from gas to electric, like just recently. And I watch the videos. I'm like, man. I mean, that would take me like a month to figure out to do though. But he just does it.
So let's see. What was I going to show you? Oh, the V-Copter and the Skydio2, Bryan. What's been happening with that? You've been flying. Yeah.
It's been 10 degrees here for the last 2 months. I'm not going out and flying quadcopters. I'm just not.
We got flying in the house.
How about the e-bikes, man?
I went out and did that. I rode that thing the other day. That company that sent me that bike or that scooter, they asked me to go out and do a couple of promotional shots for them. So I did. Honest to God, remember I put that video. I said,
Yeah.
don't be a dodo or something like that.
Don't do this.
Okay. So that was when I was out making this. These were just still shots. It wasn't video. They wanted me to take these certain pictures and send them to them. Well, I about freaking froze to death because it was like 25 degrees or something like that.
Oh man.
So,
Well,
yeah, I haven't been able to do anything as far as flying drones, or just a couple of days got 30 degrees and I got to fly that Xeno Mini 2 piece of garbage out a couple times. Other than that, I haven't been able to do anything.
Now, is that the Mini SE?
The Mini SE so far is great. It's the Mini Pro is a piece of garbage.
yeah, and I think he's giving you a hard time since day one.
What's the problem with it, Bryan? Just flying?
It was his cable.
It keeps disconnecting. You know, it just keeps disconnecting constantly.
I think DeMarco didn't Marcus have a lot of issues with his?
I believe he did.
I think you're being sarcastic. Yeah.
Yeah, sarcastic.
No,
You know what? I mean, I say this to Marcus too. Now we're going on how many years since the Xeno? 3, 4?
4 almost. Yeah, 2018. Yeah, 2018.
And they still have the same like basic issues, like basic, cameras jacked up or disconnecting. I mean, come on, man.
Right.
Well, the guy that makes it in the garage sometimes drinks too much, and he forgets what. Yeah. And if he makes it on a Friday, you're in trouble, and especially if it's on Monday.
Of all the substances I bought, the original Xeno is the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Pro, the Xeno Pro is actually yours too, Bryan. One of your favorites too, because it's always worked.
The Xeno Pro, I threw it in a garbage can.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
I like my Pro.
It was so great until I did the first update on it, and then when I did the first update on it, it went and took a shit. And it died.
No.
Yeah. Marcus is saying he flew something today. Was it the original Xeno or the Mini?
The Mini Pro? He flew it today, and he said it kept disconnecting.
Oh, bummer. Well, I'm getting ready to do that comparison between the Nano Plus and Xeno Mini Pro, because those are the two drones that actually have exactly the same specs and almost the same price point too, because the Xeno Mini Pro is pretty pricey, and so is the Nano Plus. Right. And they both have, 1-inch sensors. They both have they have collision detection sensors up front and in the back. So I think it's, that's a fair comparison with those two, because those are the ones that are the market leaders as far as the minis goes, with the sensors and the camera. Collision detection sensor and the camera sensor, 1-inch sensor. So I think it'll work.
And Al and Bryan here, I say this, like, we all know that, like, we've been like on chats and listening to each other and watching each other's videos. So like, we all sort of know like what to expect, but there are thousands of people out there who buy that with no idea, who never heard of us, who never watched any of your guys' videos or Marcus's videos or Ron's, whoever. And they buy that thinking, man, I'm gonna go take some good pictures, and it's a piece of what.
Right.
But when we grew up, we were getting piece of craps all the time anyway, because I started with the Hubsan H501S.
But not for $600. Yeah.
No, not. Yeah, I mean, $600 can get you into a used Air 2.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's a freaking awesome platform and camera.
Right.
Yeah. My first drone, my first official drone was a AR Parrot, AR drone.
That big thing.
That big thing with the phone.
Yeah.
And it was horrendous.
Right.
I hated flying it.
Right.
In fact,
you get to fly with the phone.
Fly out my phone.
Yeah.
If you go to my channel, back to 8 years ago, there's videos of me flying it, and I'm out in front of my house and I'm trying to fly it though, and it's 3 megapixels is the camera and everything. But like at that time, that's all I had though, so I didn't know. But
I had one. I had
You
one.
had one, but still, it
I
was
never-
a pain in the butt to fly. Pain in the butt.
I never put out a video on it. I just flew it at the park a few times. I want to throw it in the garbage. I just threw it in the garbage. Yeah, that's all.
$300 for that too.
I didn't pay. I paid $100 for it.
I paid three. I didn't pay my wife bought it for Christmas, and I was all excited. Woo!
Right.
I still have it too, by the way. It's in the attic. I saw it yesterday.
And so I put this background in there just for you, Bryan. This is this Noah background, so it kind of gives you, I didn't want to make it too dark. Yeah. I didn't want to make it too dark for you. Now, with that said, I have a video to share with you guys. This is the Nano Plus doing a time lapse, and this came out really nice. This is how nice this is. So let me go ahead and share that with you folks, and so you guys can see it. And I got really lucky. The train came by, the sun was setting. This is at the end of my third battery, and so I didn't get a chance to actually do all the autonomous features or any of the tracking modes, but you can see the train just went by, and the camera is actually a good camera, guys. I mean, it really is a good camera. You can see that it definitely has that dynamic range, and I see a lot of details in those dark trees. So very nice. I really like that camera. I think it's worth entertaining buying if you have the budget. I think with the latest release, and by the way, that I shot that time lapse in pro mode running at ISO 100, 2500 is the shutter speed, and the white balance was set to sunny. I wanted to overexpose the clouds and try to darken out the bottom. So that's what I did on that one, and it came out pretty good. What did you guys think of the video?
I liked it. You were getting sort of low to those lights on that bridge. I was getting worried for a second.
I was worried.
To make it interesting, yes, we know that.
Well, I'm going to do it again. I was worried about this train. See it? I was going to fly right over top of it in time lapse. I was getting ready to board it, but it finished. And then the other thing I was worried about, am I going to hit the light pole?
Yeah, they're
right
coming up. They're coming.
It's coming. And it was a 10-second video that took 250 frames to create. And when I rendered it at 50% of speed. So it would actually be only a 10-second video. And this is a 20-second video. I slowed it down 50% to give it a little bit more of a impact on today's show. But on the review, it will definitely put it. I
like it.
Yeah, it looks good. And you know what? You know how you could do the sphere shots with the DJI product line?
I love those shots.
But the only way you can manipulate it is what? How do you view it? Facebook. You post it on Facebook, and then you can manipulate the image around. But you're
talking about the 3D. I thought you were talking about the that little asteroid thing.
Yeah. No, but because remember how you could set the panel, you can say, like landscape, wide angle, and then sphere.
Right.
But if you shoot in sphere, you get this. I'll see if I can find it here. And so my point is this, that the Nano Plus actually has that feature. The other really nice thing, I'm going to share my screen because I want to just I'm going to prep it first. You guys carry on while I look for what I need.
I want to see the V-copter do that, Bryan. That time lapse there.
Yeah, well, it has some nice features on there, but I haven't updated it to unlock them.
Okay.
I have to put the update on to unlock those features.
Okay.
Like the follow me and all that other orbits and all that. Until I put the first update on, but it's flying so good, I don't want to update it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not worried about the features. Okay. I just don't want a brick.
Once you go, that's it.
Right.
Stuck
Oh,
there.
I've had so many off-brand quadcopters brick after an update. Oh, you wouldn't believe how many issues I've had with
Hey,
some of these things.
you still have that egg, that
I
big
have
one?
the egg. I
Dang,
still have
okay.
it. Yeah. Now I got rid of my um, unique typhoon. I had a
Oh,
typhoon. I just
Oh,
gave
I'd
it.
love to see that thing.
I just gave it away.
Oh,
oh,
did
really?
you?
Yeah, I just
Wow.
gave it to some guy I know, one of my subscribers. He drove down here from New York, and he came to visit, and I sent him home with like
Take this
4
thing.
car cup stuff. So
That was nice of you, man. They're
I
very
gave
nice. All
him
right.
I gave him the unique typhoon. I gave him the
Ah, wrong
Up
file.
Air 1, the Up Air 2, and the AEE drone, a real
Yeah.
big thing.
Well,
So
with that egg, that big egg, like you can set that in your living room, and no one would ever
no,
know that
they don't
it's
even
a
know what it
drone.
is. Right.
Hey, watch this, babe. Watch this. Yeah.
All right. So what I wanted to show here is that the way that it structures the videos on on the SD card. So it's very similar to the Mavic 2 and the original time lapse and panorama pictures. Because take a look at this. When you go into panorama mode, this thing in this video in this folder, it gives you the individual pictures of the panorama.
Right.
So that makes it nice because then you can pull out the picture you want out of it. Where in the Air 2S, you don't get this. You get it in the GoPro, GoPro, the Go app, but you don't get it on the Air 2. You know,
Well, it's nice that they
Fly
keep it
app.
in their own folder. That way it's easier for you to find them if you want to manipulate them in some other software.
Right. And then I was like, well, where's the Stitch product? Where did it go? I mean, I don't want the individual pictures. Uh, you know, I want to see all of them. So I'm like, where did it put them? This is what it's taken. And it's, the usual 3x3 grid or the 3x4 grid. But I'm like, okay, because it's supposed to have it already stitched, right? And so I was like, where did it put it? So I'm still trying to figure that out. It's there in one of these files, but you can see this is the time lapse. This is all the
Mm,
pictures. It gives you all the pictures, and
yeah.
then the movie at the end. So, and this is how fast it goes normally.
Now, Al, with that last screen on, could you take a picture out and still have a movie? I mean, would it render
Yeah,
it in? Or?
it looks like it's already rendered it for you. But let's say you wanted to get, that picture of the train, and let's say that, you decide that this is the picture you want. Let's double click it. There it is.
Yeah.
So that's one really. Um, so this is my initial impression. So this is my first 3 batteries with it, and so far it's been really good experience. The Sky app is really a good app so far, and then here's what the videos look like here. This is flying back from that time lapse, and I'm just gonna back out of here backwards. This is something that I was doing all on its own, guys. I was not yawing it by any ways. All of a sudden it would yaw to the left, and I'm like, "What? Did you see that?"
Yeah.
Okay, I was not. That was not me. It was heavy winds out there, but that was not me.
Hey, I'll
There,
talk to avoidance turned on.
no, I got it turned off.
Yeah. Yeah, I always turn it off too. I don't like it.
I mean, I know this area well enough that I know that I have to be a certain height from the location that I'm flying, and I won't hit anything. That's why I increased the altitude there because I'm coming up a hill.
Yeah.
But how good is this camera? That's the only, I haven't seen any jello in it at all, guys. And this is running 24 frames a second in 4K. Yeah, it's sweet. You see that?
Ooh,
That was
ooh,
close, right?
ooh.
You see, that was close, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you hit something. That's how close it was.
No, I was like freaking out myself there internally.
I'll bet you were.
And so the other thing I saw, yeah, I had a GoPro strapped on my chest right there. And you're going to be able to, I'm going to be able to actually compare what the GoPro footage looks like to compare to this footage. But again, I'm shooting in pro mode. I haven't done anything to it. This just came right off this SD card. So very, very nice dynamic range. It's looking really good. It's a really nice sensor because if you look at the dark parts of the trees, you can still see like branches in here. Probably hard for you all to see, but
I can see
I
it.
would just lighten it up a little bit though, because it just it's a little bit dark though, but it could
I
be my
agree.
screen too.
Yeah.
And leaving in pro mode, I was trying to portray, I'm not going to let the sensor or the white balance change to kind of, switch the brightness all the time. So I didn't
Right.
want any of that. So I wanted to give you the feel like kind of like what your eye is going to look at. Yeah, so it's an interesting park. People set up tents down here and they come down and play football and they have a good old party. And then when the time is dark, they bug out because there's a lot of people that kind of make home around these areas. Under the bridge there, they have like I've kind of stumbled into a kind of like a little village by accident. and those are the ones you quickly just back out of there, Brian. Like you're like, oh yeah, I'm in the wrong spot. I'm out of here, man.
You don't want them following you home.
No.
yeah. I mean,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, don't follow me home.
Yeah, so I know Marcus has had his Nano Plus for a while, and then he shipped it back. He got a replacement one. Is that right, Marcus?
Yeah. Same with Johnny too.
Yeah.
And Johnny too.
Yeah.
Well,
I saw a video of Marcus the other day. Got the bugs worked out of the Nano. I think he has the Nano Plus actually.
The Nano Plus,
He has
yeah.
the Nano Plus, yeah.
I think
then he had a video he put out the other day. This nice little wireless mic setup he had. That was a pretty nice little product. So
I think when Marcus he bought the Nano Plus, but Autel sent him back a regular Nano though. That's what I think happened.
Oh, okay.
I think anyway. I think yeah.
So it looks like we had a few more people joining us, guys. So that's nice to have Charles Hatmaker here, and we also have
Charles.
Mikey is joined from Fly Zone Drones, and don't see Sergio. And you can see Angela saying, hey, Marcus, you've had a few incidents yourself, so.
No, a Nano Plus. Okay, I was wrong.
You got the Nano Plus, okay.
You didn't get it back yet. Sorry,
hey,
Marcus.
listen, I wanna just say one thing about the Hubsan Xeno Mini Pro before we continue. Okay, so this disconnect issue. That's what I want to talk about real quick. Just real quick.
Have at it, man.
This disconnect issue. I put out a couple of videos. A lot of people made this comment. Oh, it's the cable. Okay. Oh, it's and then somebody else will say, well, you have to turn this on first, and then turn all this mumbo jumbo. Okay. So I
want like the firmware upgrade, Brian.
Okay. Everybody's got their own theory about this, but listen, I watched a video the other day from Chris. Okay. And Chris knows about the Hubsan shit more than anybody. he knows this Hubson crap. Okay. He said at the end of the video that I watched that he put out the other day that nobody really actually knows why this is doing this. Okay. So that's what he said in his, and so when it comes to this Hubson crap, I trust him more than I just trust anybody that's going to comment on one of my videos. He is pretty knowledgeable with this Hubson junk. Okay. So I'm going to go along with him. Nobody really knows what the hell, why this is doing this. That's what he says. That's what he claims. Because everybody is leaving these comments, oh, the cable's no good. And as a matter of fact, one guy said, he told me 3 times, he said the cable's no good in 3 different videos. I said, well, you keep saying that, and I changed the cable, and it's still doing it. Okay,
Yeah.
So, don't say it no more, because that's not what's happening here. So I changed the cable. I put a FEMI cable on. I put a DJI cable on, all kinds of cables. Cable this, cable that, tried all that. Now, finally, I bought some new ones from Amazon, and we're going to try them next. Then we'll see what happens.
And that's the one that usually fits a different kind of drone, maybe a DJI or something like that.
I tried the cable that seems to be making it actually work is the cable from the original Zeno. So that's the one I'm actually using, okay, to make it fly.
You remember sometimes you had to cut that thing so it would go in right.
And it shouldn't be that hard, though. It shouldn't be that difficult.
I know.
The 2 successful flights I got with the Mini Pro, Zeno Mini Pro, is with the Zeno cable.
Yeah.
And the other one I tried, it didn't work.
I'm laughing, DeMarco, because when I fly, everything's been difficult lately. I'm going to show you something.
But no. I mean, I just always think back to like someone who's new at this, and they buy this to enjoy it.
Right.
And you got to go out and you got to jerry rig this and try this and try this. And Bryan, like you've been through this, so like you know. But there are a lot of people out there who have no idea, and they're like, "What's going on?" I just paid $600 for this drone,
right?
And it's not acting right. It's going 50 feet or 500 feet doing, and
and that's when you're hoping they bought it through Amazon so they can return it, right?
Right.
But I mean, I've been having a blast, more fun crashing these things than rebuilding them than actually making video. I don't know why. This was my Christmas over Christmas holiday builds. I got Christmas gear and I just started building. And so that's where I've been at. I'm sure, DeMarco, you've been running around like crazy with the little ones, I'm sure, with all that snow.
Always. Yes. Yeah, that's the full-time job. In fact, my bag is sitting here. It's heavy. I charged up the batteries when we went to Chicago last week, though, but I didn't get a chance to fly. It was 40 degrees on Friday, so like that was my day to fly, but I couldn't hook up with my uncle. And then it was like 17 the next day, and I'm not going out there. So my mom was like, just go ahead and fly. I'm like, nah, it's all right.
Don't do it.
I'll wait.
It's not worth it, man. Shit.
No.
It's not worth it.
For me, it's not.
Hey, I've got to take care of some administrative stuff, guys. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to all these channels. Make sure you support the guys here, taking the time to come on and talk about the stuff you guys want to hear. So hopefully we're covering the pages or the content that you guys want to hear. If you want to hear something different, just let us know in the comments below, and we'll just keep on rocking and rolling. So hit the like button and hit the channels here.
I think Johnny's flirting. He's flirting again.
He can't help himself, man. He's a Southern boy.
That guy. I know he's smiling right now.
So what did Johnny send back? Did he send back his Nano?
Who did? Who was it?
Johnny. Did he?
No, yes. He sent it to Autel, and they either fixed it or they sent him a new one. I think they fixed it.
What was
Was
it,
that the
Johnny?
gimbal? Was that the gimbal shake thing?
I think so. Yes. Yeah. He had
Well,
it
that
too.
was,
He did.
yeah, that was the rubber sticking together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, at least they figured out what it was.
Yeah. Yeah. What I thought was funny is like when I owned my Evo, I had a problem once, and I called and they didn't pick up, and then I called like an hour or two later, and I talked to the guy. The guy was great, and he said, "Oh, I'm by myself today, working in the customer service department." I said, "By yourself?" But that was now. I mean, that was 3 years ago. So I guess they've hopefully added more. So
Yeah, well, they need.
Well, you never know, man. It's because I had issues with the Cadix Vista product line. So because it wouldn't activate, DeMarcus. You remember how you got your goggles with your drone, with your FPV, and you had to bind everything together, right?
Mhm.
Linking. And, if it didn't link right, you called DJI and DJI would help you.
Mhm.
Now they diverge themselves from that FPV division. And so now for customer support, guess what you get? Facebook.
Oh.
You get a
For who?
Facebook group
For
for
what?
Cadix. So
Is that
for the
something?
air units and the Cadix Vistas that were DJIs at one time, now you have to go through Cadix support.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah, crazy, right?
Like they never make it easier, ever. It's
No,
always hard.
it's all, exactly. The
Well,
harder they make it, the more you won't call. That's how they work.
well, they do make some things very easy, DeMarco.
Mhm.
They take your money very easily.
Oh yeah,
Right.
they're good at that.
Right.
Well, here, and I'll
They
say
pick your
this:
wallet real easily.
hopefully this isn't a trend though, because if DJI is listening, this is a hobby, and I have many hobbies. I
Right.
don't need this. Yeah.
Right. There's other
I
hobbies.
mean, yeah.
Right.
I
There's
know,
plenty of
right?
hobbies.
And one of the what is some of the hobbies you guys have been doing that's taking some taking you in a different direction, maybe a different obsession? I don't know. What have you been doing, Bryan?
I only have three hobbies. I have the drones, I have the electric scooters, and I have the gaming. That's my three deals right there.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. For me, it's similar. I'm a drone guy. I love it. Uh, um, I love the cars, but my number one hobby is I am a car enthusiast. So I am a car follower, big cars.
Yeah, real cars. Yeah,
Yeah,
real.
real cars. Yeah, because I just went back to Chicago for the auto show.
Yeah.
But that's my number one hobby. Yeah.
So, what are you interested? What European, American
Where they have
cars?
that at McCormick Place?
Yeah. Actually, you know what? In fact, I was just talking about this back in the day. Like my father was so alive. We used to watch the Barrett Jackson show.
Mhm. Right.
It's like a week long, and like I'd be at my house, and like he'd be at his, and we talk, and then on the weekends, like on their Saturday and Sunday would be the big cars. So like on the weekends, I would go out to my dad's house, and we would sit there for hours watching Barrett Jackson. But what I thought was funny, he would always say, like during the week of Barrett Jackson, 7 days, the first couple of days they're the less expensive cars. So he used to say on those first couple of days, they're guys that look like me and they're my age guys. By the time Saturday and Sunday come along, it was all guys that look older than you guys.
Right.
It was all gray hair.
Gold bracelets on.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, what, as liking cars, I've always liked anything in my time period that I've been mostly attracted to. I never, got into like the 57 Chevys or anything like that. Probably around in the late 80s, I really started liking cars, Mustangs, Porsches, Vets, stuff like that. Though the BMW stuff is nice though. The older ones, the newer ones don't get me at all. Like they've gone from being sporty to just being luxury cars almost.
Right. Well, that's basically what they are now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you buy like an M3 or an M5, you can change that car into like three different cars, by just changing the profile of the electronics in it. It'll control everything in the car. So it's
Yeah.
pretty crazy because you can put it like in street mode, you can put it in highway mode, you can put it in sports mode, you can put it in racing mode, and each shock is like $800 a piece
Oh yeah.
because it's got a Ethernet port in it.
Yeah. I have a buddy of mine who used to have a BMW X5 4.8, so like the big V8. This is about
Oh
10 years
yeah.
ago. And I went to his house once. We were living back in Chicago, and I walked into his condo, and I said, "Hey man, why is your truck drooping on the one side?" And he said, "Well, like the air shock had went out." And I said, "Well, how much that cost?" And this is 2004 probably. And he said it was $1,200 to get that shock fixed. So I gasped, and he said, "No, no, no." He said, "Like you weren't here last week. The other one went out last week on the other side."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Man, I mean, I couldn't do that. He's a Tesla guy now, so
Yeah, it's just paying for a different thing now, right?
and I'll tell you too, if you guys are like into stuff like that, there's a group that I'm a member to called Obsessed Garage, and there's like car guys. I mean, all kind of guys in that group though. But really, you actually find out like a lot of good stuff about building stuff and um, taking care of cars. I mean, just a lot too. So, I mean, I recommend that group.
Yeah, I definitely love those kind of obsessions. I am currently working on an old '86 Toyota truck with the 22R engine, 5 speed.
Ooh.
I mean, talking old, and it's
How old
coming
is it?
along
Oh
pretty
no,
good.
sorry.
In 1986, in
86.
'86, Toyota called that pickup truck. It
Okay.
was called pickup. That was all it was called.
Wait. Is it a Datsun or a Toyota? That's what
It
it
was
is.
Toyota, yeah, '86 Toyota. They called it a
They were
pickup.
Datsuns when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Nissan
remember
anyway.
that? I had
Oh yeah.
one, and oh my gosh, that Toyota uh, pickup replaced the Datsun one that you're
Mhm.
talking about. And my father took pity on us and bought us that truck. For my brother and I, we were towing a boat with his old Datsun 4 cylinder. And it was just too dangerous. So he got us this other truck. So it was okay. And so that's why I'm restoring. It's got that sentimental value to it. That,
Yeah, yeah. In fact, I own my father passed away 10 years ago next month, and I at the time he had a 300C SRT8. He had put a new cam on it, exhaust. So I have it now, and I think I got it, and he had 11,000 miles on it, and now I've got 13,000 miles. I would
oh,
not drive it
man.
because it's a freaking beast.
I
It'll kill
bet
you.
it is.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just sentimental value. That's it.
It really does. And, I ended up, I don't know how to say it, but kind of taking the side road. I didn't replace everything with the original equipment. I put LED headlights on the front and just wanted to be able to see better because those old ah, headlights, I forget they're like 1485s, 1488s or something. They even have a number like that, you know, every car had those little square ones, not the round ones, not that old,
Hmm.
but the square ones. Yeah, so looks like Mark Fisher was talking about the Datsun 210, man. Oh my gosh, remember that little 210? It had a little exhaust pipe. I swear it was no bigger than this big straw. It was like tiny engine in it.
What about you,
Yeah.
Brian? What was your first car or something
My
you?
my first car was a 1973 Catalina.
Ooh,
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Don't you wish you had that right now?
said that with a
I,
smile too.
oh, I've had some really nice cars, man. I mean, I had a 65 Mustang Fastback that was just cherry as could be. I mean,
oh
absolutely.
man.
Man, I had a 68 Same way, 68 Mustang. It wasn't a fastback, but it was, square back. But oh, it was real nice. Oh, I've had some nice cars, man. Believe me.
Well, I have not.
But
what was your first car?
I mean, I'm old now, so I'm just into other stuff.
As much as I enjoy cars,
I went through my thing with the cars.
Yeah,
I did all that crap.
As much as I enjoy cars, I mean, I live cars. I have never had but besides my father's car that I inherited, I've never owned a new car. I've never had something that's been ooh.
Yeah.
My first car in 1993 was a Dodge Colt.
Ooh.
Wow.
A Buick, and then a Toyota.
I guarantee you that thing ain't still running.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Wait.
See that comment by Recovery Drones? After you're done, we'll jump on this comment.
No. I was going to say so just recently, I've been looking at those electric trucks and everything. So my wife was asking me like what I want, and she said because now I drive a minivan now. Right. So she said, well, don't you want another minivan? And I said, babe, I'm running out of time. I could be gone. So she's gonna relent and let me get something that I finally want though. But she asked, well, the minivan's great for the family. I mean, it really comes in handy.
Right.
So I told her, why don't you get another one? No, she didn't answer me back. So
why don't you get one of them RT Challengers?
That would be.
I got that out there. It's the same thing. Yeah.
Well, my first car was a Datsun 510, and I took it to college. My mother handed it down to me, and
I think I remember those cars.
Oh my gosh, that thing was awesome, man! I went to West Virginia University my first semester, hated the place, dropped out, and then went to down southwestern Virginia to play soccer down there, and then did my graduate work. And I went to Radford University, and then did my graduate work at Virginia Tech. But yeah, that 510 got me through college, man. That thing was a freaking. Actually, as a matter of fact, I had my first date with my wife there, and I was just finished having our pizza day. I had pizza, this little restaurant called Sal's Restaurant. We went to have pizza there, and on the way back, I needed gas, and I ran out of gas. And it was 5-speed, and I ran out of gas, pulling into the gas station. I jumped out and pushed it all the way to the gas pump. Like it was like, like nothing happened.
She probably thought you were pulling something. That's what it was.
Yeah.
He's going to pull the old out of gas trick here.
No. That's the trick you pull off in the motorcycle, because you could just turn the valve off by your leg, remember?
Oh, sorry, honey, we're out of gas.
In the middle of nowhere. No, that's a cruel joke. You don't want to pull at anybody.
What's bad? I mean, not just like this past year, but like back when I was getting my license, cars were cheap.
Yeah.
I think I paid $600 for my car.
Right.
And well, here I'll say this. I take that back. Back when like muscle cars, like a Mustang during my time was 18 grand. And I've been to a dealer and there was a Mustang GT sitting there, and I peek at the sticker and it's $50,000. I'm like, who is buying that? I mean, that's a shame. Now that said, my kids aren't getting that stuff. They'll be getting an old Subaru or like an old CRV or old Civic that I'll pay 15 grand for probably.
Hey, DeMarco, I lived in Chicago for 25 years. I've been in McCormick Place many times. My son actually still lives there.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Where at, Bryan?
Yeah, I lived in Cicero.
Cicero, yes.
Yep. I live there. My son lives out in Lake Schaumburg, up that way.
Yeah. I grew up in Glendale Heights, which is south of Schaumburg.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but I lived in Hyde Park and Rogers Park and
he manages. My son manages the House of Blues.
Oh, and, I've been there a couple of times, but a couple of days.
another club down there too. He manages two clubs.
Oh,
So needless to say, he was off for like almost 2 years.
oh yeah, yeah.
All right, I'm going to reel you boys back in.
No,
And,
no.
and
Keep on
We have
talking.
to talk about.
all right, I'm going to set the hook and pull it now. Okay, we got you. All right, gotcha. Let's talk about the first drone you had. Let's talk about that. Let's hear what everybody's out there saying. What was your first drone, Bryan? And next, DeMarco.
I had the Parrot Bebop.
Oh my gosh, that was a good drone.
Loved it so much. A couple of weeks later, I went out and bought a Phantom 3.
Oh my gosh.
So those were kind of like my first.
Well, you made a good choice. Good choices.
That's not
The
bad.
only thing that sucked about the Bebop was it didn't have a controller, so I had to go scrounge the controller up.
Yeah.
Flying the phone kind of sucked, and it still does to this day. So, but I wound up just getting me a controller for it. So
Well,
I still have it. I still have that and the Phantom. I still have them.
I still have my first drone too, but we'll talk about that last. DeMarco, what was yours?
I had what was the Parrot, AR drone. Parrot.
The AR drone.
Yeah, that was my first one. I
Yeah,
still have it.
Go watch some YouTube videos on that thing.
and some of you guys don't know, it was literally like this big.
Yeah.
And had the big foam prop, propellers. Protectors on it. So pain in the butt to fly. Yeah. Don't ever. No.
Yeah. Hey, how about the setup time?
yeah, that was bad too. It was. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Al.
But back then, you thought that was badass.
Yeah.
You thought
I was so excited when I got it, Bryan. I was like, Christmas Day, we haven't kids yet. I was like running around trying to get it down the app of my little, I don't know what phone I had though, but it was just a mess.
Yeah, right. What did you have, Al?
I ended up buying the Hubsan 501S, but really I had bought these little tiny drones you could fly around the house, and every once in a while I'd make a mistake and wrap it around my daughter's hair, and she'd be so mad at me. She'd throw it back. I'm like, oh no, that's my $20 drone. No, don't do that. And so, I was not into the DJI bandwagon, so I was like, everybody's like so stuck up and so snobby about their DJI drones. I'm going to buy a Hubsan and see what that's at. Well, I learned to fly it, and it flew well. It was a good flyer. The camera was absolutely horrible for movies, but good for pictures. And then you could buy all these little adapters to put the GoPro underneath it, and you put it in a fixed angle and you float around and you come back and you looked at the video and you're like, oh. And then somebody let me fly their Spark, and I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get me one of these. So I bought a Spark next.
And that was it. And over then.
And then I was flying the Spark like crazy, and then I did something silly. No. I drowned it and never found it. It's at the bottom of a canal here in Richmond somewhere. I was more upset about losing the footage than the drone.
Is that the same canal where that FEMI X8 is?
Yeah, pretty close to it, Bryan. Yeah. Pretty close to it. You can see it from
Al's graveyard.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
River yard. It went and drank and never came back out. And here's the deal, man. It was February. I took off my shirt, took off my shoes, left my.
You went in?
Well, it hit this pylon in this canal where there was like this old tobacco chute. They're called Tobacco Row at the bottom of in the city it's called the Bottom. If you've ever been to Richmond, go to the Bottom. That's where the restaurants are, because it's the bottom of the hill. And anyway, I took 3 steps in this pylon. It was only like 8 feet away from the shore where it hit and went in. So I figured It's only a couple feet deep. No, it's a canal. I swam to the pole, took a deep breath, shimmied, and went 1, 2. And in my mind, I said, no more than 3. Push down. If you can't touch bottom, call it a day. I got to 3, and then I said, nah, I got to try one more. And I tried 2 more. My ears started hurting, and I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm done. And swam back up, came home. I was so bummed, so bummed.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
So I got it. Scott Williams saying, how come live chat doesn't work on YouTube for your show? Oh, that's interesting. It seems to be working for me. Have you guys tried the live chat? You guys watching the comments?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Switch to live chat. Mine switches fine to live chat and back to top chat. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on.
Pop out chat from the other YouTube. You know, I'm watching on your StreamYard page, but I have the other page running in the background too. You know.
Yeah.
Pop out chat for that.
Yeah, not really sure, Scott. I'm actually switching back and forth and see no problem.
1969 Ford Galaxy. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. Let me just reply back here. Yeah, I'm sorry you're having problems there, buddy. Yeah, so Phantom 3 Standard was Johnny's first drone, man. That's a pretty good drone for your first one, buddy.
Big money Johnny.
Yeah, big money Johnny, man. Let's see, Robert had the MJX Bugs 3. Whoa, the Bugs 3, that's a really nice one.
Yeah,
that's a good fly, right? That's a good fly.
It can fly, but what I didn't know when I bought mine, you know, I thought it was a GPS drone for some reason, and it is not. So like you had to, it's manual. You know, it's like you had to teach yourself how to fly. But it's fast. It's really fast.
Yeah, yeah. So you have to bring it home. You have to fight the wind. You got to do all that.
Yeah.
Now, what does this mean? All right. Any clue 1 hour away? Okay. All right. Got you there. You remember the Vega? They used all the motorheads would get those cars, pull the engine, drop a 350 in it.
They put 427s in there.
427s in it. Big old slicks in the back and little tiny wheels.
Giant slicks. They put them. Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember.
You remember that? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Before my time, but yes, I know what you're talking about though. Yeah. My the kids around my neighborhood in high school, like they would get oh shoot, I froze. Uh-oh. They would get like late 70s Firebirds and Trans Ams.
Right.
Yeah, and they would soup them up. Yeah.
Hey Al, you remember them Chevettes? You remember
my mom had one.
Yeah.
You remember the nickname Chevette?
Hey, here's something. Hey, Brian, I'll tell you this, Al.
The smoke those engines.
The year that I was getting my license, that was the year that they were switching over the mail trucks.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
So my dad was like, get a mail truck. And there were Jeeps. I don't know if you guys remember, there were Jeeps with the sliding door.
Right.
Yeah, and he was like on us about getting that. I'm like, Dad, I don't want a one-seater Jeep with the sliding door. But they were cheap. I think they were like 4 speeds too. So
yeah. Those the 3 worst cars that Chevy ever made was the Vega, the Chevette, and the Citation. Those were the 3 biggest piles of junk ever.
What about the Pinto? The Pinto? Oh, no, that's Ford. That's Ford.
That Citation was a real pile of garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow. Time flies. We've been chatting for over an hour here. That's a good
World
haul
record.
here, buddy.
World record, Al.
The world record, yeah.
Always a pleasure, gents.
Yeah, it is. I guess I had to put something in the private chats for you all to check, see what you guys think. Let me know. So Scott saying hello to you. All right. Yeah, so Robert's talking about finding those old. Remember those mail Jeep trucks, man, that came by? Aren't they still out there somewhere?
Who makes
Yeah.
those trucks now? Isn't that what is it, International or something?
Yeah.
I don't even know who makes those now. The mail trucks.
Oh yeah, they're totally different. Back the ones I'm talking about, they were actually Jeeps.
Right, they were Jeeps. Right.
Yeah. Now it's something else. So, but I highly, I bet you if you found one, it would be like in Arizona, someplace dry.
Yeah.
It's definitely not in the Midwest or the East Coast. No.
Right. Oh, they're gonna be beat to hell and back. It would cost you more to fix them up than it would be that they
Fix
would
it up. But they were cheap, and he was honest. Come on, like you need one of those, and no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No.
I mean, so I got a Dodge Colt instead.
Yeah. There you go.
Did you like it?
A legend. I remember that car, believe me. I remember it.
I used to turn it off and it would keep running, and if you gassed it a little bit, it would start up
Right. Keep going. Right. I know.
without a key.
I think I had 5 or 6 cars in a row back in the late 70s that used to do that. You turn them off and they'd keep running. And everybody goes, you need to put some premium in there. It'll stop doing that,
Oh, man.
Hey, before we drop, I want to remind everybody that next week's guest is going to be Ed Richter. So come join us. So Ed's going to be joining the channel next week.
I haven't heard from him in forever.
Yeah, well, we get to pick his brain and see how he's doing, and we're going to be discussing his.
He doesn't do as much YouTube as he used to. Back in the day, he did a lot of YouTube, but he's not that prevalent anymore as far as doing videos. He used to do a lot more videos, but he doesn't anymore. So
yeah, he
was
does
definitely a step down from us.
Right.
I met Ed.
You'll have to deal with it.
What a nice guy.
He's a nice
right?
guy. I met him.
Yeah. So with that said, let's go ahead and wrap it up. So shameless promotions, or whatever you want to call it, shameless, whatever you want to say. What are you into, DeMarco? What do you want to promote? Any of you?
Nothing. Well, I take that back. The Drone Nation show on Monday nights with my co-hosts Marcus and Ron. It comes on at 8 Central.
9 o'clock East time.
9 o'clock Eastern time, and the football season's over.
Yeah.
Thank God. All my luck has run out.
You have 2 TVs.
Marco, maybe you can forecast some reruns. All
my luck has run out.
Make some predictions on some replays.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, Bryan, what do you want to shamelessly promote?
I looked at the weather forecast today, and it said it was going to rain for the next 9 straight days.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'll dig out the old waterproof drone and fly that.
Oh, there you go.
You got to fly that.
I didn't even fly it last year.
Oh.
That Swell Pro. I have that Swell Pro. I didn't even take it out last year because I was too busy into that the bikes and the scooters and all that. I was really getting into that, and that kind of got me pushed away from the drones for a while. But I did. The only good thing about that, I did find so many spots to actually go take drones to by spending that summer out on those trails. Okay, so I have loads of spots I can go and shoot and fly drones now. I know exactly where lots of places.
Good.
That was inaccessible by car. You had to take these bikes and these scooters to even find these places.
Right.
So I have lots of places to go this summer and shoot videos. So
good. I'm going to be up there. Count on me going up there, Brian. You're going to let me ride one of your bikes? I'll definitely join you on the trip.
I'll throw you on a scooter.
All right.
I like to see that.
That's it.
We'll have two Skydio2s chasing us, man.
Yeah, well, anybody can do the kayaking is going to want a scooter.
No. You guys have to ride on one scooter together. Please.
I got too much gear, man.
Well, the thing about the scooters is they're way more fun than the bikes.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
they're squirrelier for sure.
They're just way more fun to ride. You know, I mean, that's just a fact. You know.
Yeah.
Plus, I got a couple of high-end ones, so they go.
Is that the one that front wheels, independent wheel suspension, and the whole thing up front?
I got the one with the dual 1,000-watt motors. So
those Segway 9-bots. Is it a 9?
Oh yeah,
they're nice.
I would want one of those zipping around the neighborhood.
Yeah, they're great. They go 19 miles an hour. You get about 17 miles of range on one. 17 miles of range. Yeah, they're nice. Segway makes real nice scooters. They're just not like fast like the ones I like.
No.
They don't have the dual high performance motors and all that shit. But just for getting one and getting started, hey, they're great. They're real high quality too. The build quality on them is fantastic.
Good.
Yeah. It looks like Scott's calling us that we're going to be scooter twins here,
yes,
Brian.
That's right.
Hold them close, Al. You got to hold them close.
All right, we got to close this up. So here's the deal, guys. So we have Ed Richter coming next week. The week after that, we get Chris Hope. And the week after that is Jenna C. After that, we have Angela, Lost Girl Travels. So, and then I'm looking for a guest for the 24th of March. So that's where I'm at. I'm filling up the calendar. And so we're looking pretty good. We're looking good. All right, guys. Great show. Guys. Good fun. Thanks for joining, everybody. You guys have a great week.
DeMarco,
stay dry. Stay warm. You guys take care. Good night, guys.